Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something so deeply human and really fascinating, the profound psychological and emotional responses sparked by queer visibility. If you've ever gotten that sudden, kind of inexplicable wave of emotion just from seeing someone else openly living their truth, well, you're definitely going to want to pay close attention to this.
So let's just jump right into the core question. Why does seeing other queer people suddenly make us so emotional? It's a very specific phenomenon, right? It's that sudden, overwhelming emotional shift that can leave you feeling this really complex mix of joy, relief, or sometimes even a heavy sadness that might seem pretty confusing at first glance.
And this feeling doesn't require some grand dramatic event. It literally hits you out of nowhere in totally everyday settings. Sure, it could happen at a massive pride parade, but it could just as easily hit you while you're scrolling through your feed online or, honestly, just taking a mundane walk down the street. These completely ordinary moments are exactly what trigger these unexpected, powerful waves of emotion.
Section 1. The spark of recognition. Okay, so here's the thing. This feeling isn't random at all. It all stems from recognition. It's that exact, pinpoint moment your brain just goes, wait, that's me. Or, wow, that could have been me. It's a deep psychological realization connecting your present self straight back to your past. And for someone who might still be figuring out their identity, this flash of recognition, it's incredibly clarifying.
Think about the stark contrast here. On one hand, you have the past. For a lot of us, growing up queer meant not having the right language, lacking relatable representation, or just not having safe, visible examples to look up to. On the other hand, look at the present, seeing someone today living openly, confidently, or honestly just existing. That overwhelming feeling hits like a ton of bricks because it is exactly what you needed to see earlier in your own life.
Section 2. Unpacking the emotion and grief.
Now, this reaction isn't always sunshine and rainbows. It can actually bring up a very real sense of grief. And it's a completely valid mourning for lost time, for experiences you didn't get to have, or versions of yourself you were forced to hide away. Thoughts like, man, I wish I had that sooner, or I wish I could have been that free, are so incredibly common. But you know what? Feeling that grief doesn't invalidate who you are today. It just acknowledges that your journey started under different conditions.
Section 3. The power of belonging. But even with that grief, this emotional reaction is such a powerful reminder that you're not alone. Community doesn't just happen at formal events or through talking. It really takes root in these powerful, silent moments. It's built upon shared presence, shared experiences, and shared understanding, even when absolutely nothing is said out loud.
Section 4. The tools of visibility.
So how are people actually signaling this openly out in the real world? Well, a prime example is the Progress Pride flag, which Daniel Quasar designed back in 2018. This was a real game changer because it evolved the traditional rainbow flag by adding that forward-pointing chevron. Those black, brown, light blue, pink, and white stripes explicitly represent LGBTQ+ people of color and the transgender community. It serves as a very direct, physical tool to anchor that visibility.
And of course, visibility is definitely not a monolith. There is a massive catalog of specific community flags out there. Transgender, bisexual, pansexual, non-binary, asexual, gender fluid, demisexual, lesbian. It's amazing. These diverse flags are absolutely vital mechanisms for nuanced expression. They allow individuals to signal their specific identity to the world, drastically increasing the chances of sparking that deeply clarifying moment of recognition for someone else.
Section 5. Why visibility matters today.
Bringing this all together, these seemingly tiny moments of visibility have a massive, real-world impact. Simply existing openly does three huge things. First, it creates deep connection. Second, it expands what feels possible for the person watching. And third, it reduces isolation. This right here is exactly why representation matters so much, because shattering that isolation actively saves lives.
If you only take one thing away from this explainer today, let it be this. If seeing other queer people makes you emotional, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. Sometimes, you simply existing openly means way more to a total stranger passing by than you will ever fully realize.
It just means something deep inside you recognizes truth, connection, and possibility. So let me leave you with this to chew on. What if that emotional spark, that sudden, profound moment of recognition when you see someone else living their truth, is exactly what you've been searching for all along? Thanks for joining me on this explainer. Keep seeking out those connections.